Chapter 23. At 3:15 Monday afternoon, Detective Worman arrived at the school and went to Miss Glidewell's office. He waited as they walked into a classroom on the second floor and pulled Jonah Finn out of last period's study hall. Jonah, who had already endured a half-day suspension, mumbled, "What's the matter now?" as he followed her from the room. "Just follow me," she said, and the two walked without a word back to her office. They waited in the reception area by Miss Gloria's desk as the last bell rang and the students rushed out of the building. During the chaos of dismissal, Jonah and Miss Gladwell stepped into her office and closed the door. Foreman stood, flashed a badge, and said, "Are you Jonah Finn?" He replied, "Yes." He looked at Miss Gladwell for help. "Have a seat," Foreman said. "I'd like to ask you some questions." "Is something wrong?" "Maybe." Jonah sat down and put his backpack on his lap. He was obviously frightened and not sure what to do or say. Foreman sat on the edge of the desk and looked down at Jonah. It was not a fair fight. A tough cop in a dark suit and a frightful scowl, glaring down at a scared, skinny kid with bangs in his eyes. Foreman knew exactly where the conversation was going. Jonah wasn't so sure. The detective began. "We're investigating a burglary that happened last week at a computer store downtown, Big Mac Systems, and I just have a few routine questions. That's all." Jonah took a deep breath, almost gasped, and dropped his head. He stared at the floor, his mouth open in shock. Gorman had never seen a guiltier face. "That cell phone you got busted with this morning, where did you get it?" I bought it." Gorman opened his notepad, licked his pen, and asked, "Okay, who'd you buy it from?" Some guy named Randy." Gorman scribbled on his notepad and asked, "How much did you pay for it?" $50. "The phone was stolen from Big Mac's. Did you know it was stolen when you bought it?" "No, sir, I swear." What's Randy's last name?" I'm not sure." "Do you know where he lives? Where I can find him and talk to him?" "No, sir." "Okay, so this mysterious guy Randy just pops up and offers to sell you a brand new smartphone, $50. The one that's valued at 300, and you don't think it might be stolen?" "No, sir." "That's not too smart on your part, is it?" "I guess not." "Are you lying to me?" "No, sir." "If you lie to me, Jonah, things will only get much worse." "I'm not lying." "I think you are." Jonah shook his head, his bangs flopping in his eyes. Gorman had spent years questioning tough criminals, men who could tell great lies with sincere faces. This kid was nowhere close to being believable. The thief or thieves broke into Big Mac's, also took some tablets and laptops. Did Randy offer to sell you some brand new tablet or a brand new tablet or laptop? "No, sir." "Have you ever seen a Lynx '04 tablet?" Jonah shook his head, his eyes still watching the floor. "You know the school has a right to inspect your backpack and your locker," Foreman said, moving in for the kill. "You understand that?" "I guess." "Good. Let's take a look inside your backpack." "What are you looking for?" Jonah asked. "More stolen goods." Foreman reached for the backpack. Jonah clutched it for a second, then let go. Foreman placed it on Miss Gladwell's desk and slowly unzipped it. He removed textbooks, notebooks, a video game magazine, and then a tablet, a Lynx '04. He held it up, examined it, and said, "Jonah, you lied to me. Where did this come from?" Jonah leaned forward and placed both elbows on both knees, his head hanging low. Foreman pressed on. "Jonah, where did you get this? Did your brother give it to you?" No response. "Okay, let's have a look inside your locker." At about the same time, a mile away at the high school, Detective Hamilton introduced himself to Jesse Finn. They were in the principal's office a few minutes after the final bell. Jesse's backpack was on the desk, unopened. "I'd like to ask you a few questions," Hamilton began with a friendly smile. The principal, Mr. Trussell, was sitting at his desk, watching. "About what?" Jesse asked with a sneer. He had been through the youth court system once and didn't like cops or judges or even lawyers for that matter. You have a brother named Jonah? That's an easy question. Then answer it. Yes. Thought so. We have Jonah in custody right now. Caught him with a stolen XL 7 smartphone and 3 Lynx 04s. One in his backpack, the other two still in boxes in his locker. Any idea where he got them? Jesse flinched, though he tried to seem unmoved. The color drained from his face and it was pale. He shook his head, no. Didn't think so, Hamilton said. We checked the registration numbers and we know where they came from. Do you We know where they came from. Do you, Jesse? No. Well, Jesse, at the moment your little brother is one scared boy. He's talking, singing like a bird, and he says that breaking into Big Macs was all your idea. Says he didn't want to do it, but you pressured him because you needed some help in hauling away all of the laptops, cell phones, and tablets. What do you think about that, Jesse? He's not a very tough kid, is he? I mean, he's your brother, and he began ratting on you before we could even put the handcuffs on him. Handcuffs? Jesse said with a dry, husky voice, his face confused and scared. Yep, and I've got a pair for you, too. Just hang on. Your little brother says that you two broke into the store, though through a back window last Thursday Tuesday night and took about a dozen cell phones, 6 15-inch laptops, and 10 Lynx 04 tablets. Says you guys were in the store less than 5 minutes because you had scoped out the place and knew where things were, because you knew how to dodge the security cameras. Any of this ring a bell, Jesse? I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, I think you do. Can I look inside your backpack? Go right ahead, Jesse said and shoved it at him. Hamilton unzipped it and slowly removed books, notebooks, a water bottle, a couple magazines, nothing that appeared to be stolen. Hamilton shrugged and stuffed all of it back into the backpack. Let's go take a look at your locker. You can't do that, Jesse said. Oh, really? Why not? It's a violation of my privacy. Not so fast, Jesse, Mr. Trussell said as he lifted a piece of paper. This is a locker rental agreement you signed for the academic year. We don't require our students to use a locker, but when they choose to do so, they must sign this agreement. This clearly states that you must submit to a search of your locker when asked to do so by the school or the police. Let's go, said Detective Hamilton. Back at the middle school, Detective Warman and Miss Gladwell returned to her office, along with Jonah, who looked as though he was ready to cry. On her desk were the same 2 tablets Dan Vorman had taken from Jonah's locker earlier that day. Vorman said, We have your brother in custody at the high school, and he's saying it was your idea to plant the 3 Lynx tablets in the locker of Theodore Boone. He's saying you hacked into the school's files, got the entry number, and placed the tablets there last Wednesday morning in an effort to frame Theo for the crime. True or false? Jesse said that? Oh, yes, and plenty more. Right now, he's sitting in a small room at the high school in handcuffs, telling the entire story. Pretty sad, if you ask me, to rat out your little brother like this, but that's what happens when you when you do stupid things with an accomplice. I don't believe it. I don't care what you believe, son. You're in more trouble than you can possibly imagine. You're looking at breaking and entering, felony theft, stalking, conspiracy, vandalism. Your brother even says you slashed Thea's bike tires and tossed the rock tossed the rock through his office window. No, he did that, Jonah blurted, then caught himself. He held his breath as he stared at the detective, who just smiled. In the heat of the battle, the kid had made a crucial admission. Gorman looked at his Miss Gladwell. Both smiled. The mystery had been solved. Back at the high school, the contents of Jesse's locker were stacked neatly on the floor of the hallway. Detective Hamilton, wearing surgical gloves, gently removed the last items. 2 Lynx 04 tablets. Gee, I wonder where these came from, he said with a smile. Jonas said we would probably find them here. Let me guess, Jesse, you have no idea how these shiny new things made their way into your locker, right? Jesse said nothing. They stepped into an empty classroom. Mr. Tressler closed the door. Sit there. Hamilton barked at Jesse as he pointed to a desk. Jesse did as he was told. There was no fight left in him. What I want at this point, Hamilton said as he hovered over Jesse as if he might begin slapping him at any second, is the rest of the stolen goods. Where are they? I don't know what you're talking about, Jesse said feebly. His hands were clenched together on the desk and he stared at them. Hamilton reached into a pocket and pulled out some papers. You're a real smart kid, aren't you, Jesse? So tell me, what is the search warrant? Jesse shook his head. You don't know? Maybe you're not that bright after all. Jesse shook his head. A search warrant allows the police to go into your house and search every room, every drawer, cabinet, closet, box, bag, every pile of junk in the attic, every piece of old furniture in the garage. It allows us to turn your house upside down, looking for the rest of the stuff you and your little brother stole from Big Mac's. Hamilton dropped his search warrant on the desk and it landed in Jesse's arms. He made no effort to read it. Is your mother at home, Jesse? Hamilton asked. She's asleep. She works the night shift at the hospital. Well, let's go wake her up. That's the end of chapter 23.